Hey, lovers! Happy Wednesday!
And welcome back to another episode of
Love to the Girls podcast with your host, Alyssa.
And Jordan. We're so glad that you're here. You came back for some more. Maybe here for the first time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alyssa.
Yes.
Girl, I had a crazy week.
Okay, wait. I have something else to share with you. And I've been holding on to this for a whole week.
Shut up. What?
I've been holding on to
Are you pregnant? Stop. Are you pregnant?
I thought I was pregnant.
Twins? Did you really?
Last week when I was here.
You thought
I don't know if you remember, but we were like sitting up late and I was shook because remember I kept going to the bathroom. I was taking pregnancy tests.
You took a pregnancy test in my house and you didn't want to tell me.
I took like 2.
While you were here?
Yes.
You're so fake.
I remember when I was sitting here
so fake.
And you, at one point you did ask me like, are you okay? I was like shook. I was in shambles. I was like, am I pregnant?
Wait, what were we doing? This is when you were laying on the bed? Why didn't you tell me?
Because I think I wanted to see, like I wanted to know for sure first.
Okay.
If I was pregnant. But here's what happened. I caught myself in ovulation a couple weeks ago. And like I took a test. It was positive, the ovulation test.
Mm-hmm.
And last week was like 8 days post-ovulation, which is the earliest you can find out pretty much if you're pregnant.
You're an expert.
I took these like little cheap strips and it gave me a false, like very light, faint, false positive, but it freaked me out. So I went and took
a false positive ovulation?
No, pregnancy test.
Girl, did you take another one? Because like...
I have since taken like 30 pregnancy tests to make sure that it
I don't know
positive.
if I can handle you keeping secrets to release them on the pod. I don't know. Like, I don't know how to handle this because usually you tell me things like...
I know. Well, I actually wasn't even planning on telling Devon. I wasn't planning on telling anybody. Like, if I was pregnant, like, I actually wanted to keep it to myself for a while. I mean, it would have been my 4th child. But so it's funny because I like bought 4 boxes of first response pregnancy tests because the cheap ones, I'm like,
fancy.
Well, the cheap ones were giving me like, I think it was like janky. Like it was.
They've never been janky for me, but I get it.
But
I've only used the dollar store ones when I've been pregnant. I've never used it when I'm not pregnant. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know.
Okay.
It might feel janky if I really wasn't.
Okay. So. Well, I kept taking the first response was the good kind, the 6 days sooner kind.
Okay,
and they never turned positive, but it's funny because I didn't want to throw them in the trash. So I kept them in a Target bag and I like threw it under like my sink. And the other day Devon found them, which he never like had.
No, he never.
Well, yeah, it's like he doesn't snoop, but also none of his stuff is under my sink. So I don't know what he was looking for. And I was like holding Lenny in her room, like rocking her to sleep. And he came in, he was like, what's up with all the pregnancy tests? And I was like, did you look at him? And he was like, no, are you pregnant? And I'm like, I'll tell you later. And so he went to go look. And he was like, I was like, what did you think when you saw those pregnancy tests? I was like, you weren't supposed to see that. And he was like, it looked like...
Why is it a secret?
He was like, it looked like somebody was anxious. Like somebody, like it was anybody else but me.
Like you were stashing them for a friend.
Yeah, well, they were like still in the wrapper, like, you know,
like... Oh my gosh, girl.
And then he was like, it looked like somebody was anxious. I thought that was funny. But anyway, so I'm not pregnant.
You're not pregnant. Good. Glad you're not pregnant.
Please. I'm not pregnant, happy to report, but if I was, I thought about it, like if I was pregnant, like how, for a moment, I was like, how would I feel? Because I said that we were done with 3.
Yeah, girl.
But you know, I actually love pregnancy. I love giving birth. What?
Okay.
What?
I'm just saying, wow, that's great.
I do. And I told Devon I would get pregnant again just to give birth because it's amazing. It's like the most amazing thing I've ever done or any woman could do.
Yes, I agree. I have a favorite birth, and that was Crew, because I feel like I had like a miracle birth with him because I asked God to take away pain. I asked God to like dilate. I commanded my body to dilate, and the nurses didn't even believe it. They're like, no way. Like she was just at like 4. And so anyway,
you did share Crew's birth story on YouTube, so if you guys want to listen to that. But yeah, I had very easy births, quick labors, unmedicated, like great. the thing for me that's always a downfall, or like that I don't want to go through,
Mhm.
is postpartum. You
Yeah,
can't have it
that's
all.
tough. Can't.
So I have a awful, awful postpartum experience. But anyways, I want to hear about your crazy week because I feel like this kind of,
Yeah,
goes
you know
along with the
what?
week that you had.
Actually, very interesting. I experienced my first home birth that wasn't mine. It was a friend of mine, and I want to share the like story from my point of view, but I'm not going to give her name
Okay.
just in case, like, because she didn't share her birth story. I want to like give it to her, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I was hanging out with a friend, and she, I knew she was due in a few weeks, and I was like, "Oh, do you want me to come take pictures after the baby's born or whatever?" And she's like, "Yeah, can you come? Like, I'll call you when I'm in active labor." And I was like, oh, "Okay, bet." So I like put her on my favorites on my phone, so like if she called me in the middle of the night, it would come through. And she ended up texting me at like 7 a.m. The other day. Was it what day was that? I can't remember. It was
Was
like
it
Monday. I think it
Monday?
was like
Yeah.
Monday. She texted me and she's like, "I'm in active labor." That was like 7:58. I was like, "All right, cool." So I was like slowly moving around. I was like, it's not gonna, like, the baby's not gonna come right now. And so got a sitter, went over to her house around 2, and but like she gave birth. It was crazy. Like, and I took pictures, and like I got right next to the midwife, and I saw the baby's face, and the lips were like squished up, and I was like, "Oh my."
Coming out.
Yes, and I have pictures of I have all the pictures like close up. I'm in between her legs with the camera, and I've never in my life. I'm so glad she was so like just open to having me there. I saw it all. Like, I saw this look in her eye. Like, you would know, like, you would feel like you were her if you saw it, but her eyes got big, like big, and she was like her breath was gone. She left her body.
When she pushed the baby
No,
out.
right before the baby was coming. It was like right after transition, when like the baby is coming, and her eyes got big and she left. She was gone, and she was like, "I need to go to the bathroom." And she gets up, and then like me and her mom are like watching from like outside the door, and her and her husband are standing there. The midwife goes in, and like she's like, "I got to pee." And then like we see liquid coming out, and we're like, her mom was like, "I think that's her water," but it looked like a mix of water and pee
Okay.
on the floor. At least that's what's coming out anyway. And so she goes in the on the toilet, and then she's like, "Oh, I feel the head." And
Oh my
she's
god.
like holding the head between her legs and trying to run back to the birthing pool, and she doesn't make it.
She didn't make
She didn't
it?
make it. So she leans over on her beautiful white bed that's not covered with anything, and the baby just comes out,
On
and she pulls the baby out, and
She's
they
laying on the bed.
no, she's like, her one knee is up on the bed, and she's facing the bed,
Okay.
and like the baby just starts coming out,
So you're
and
like underneath her.
I'm
Like,
underneath. I was like, oh, like there was like, because there's like blood and water, like everywhere, all over the side of the bed. And yeah, she had the baby right there on the side of the bed. The birthing pool was right there. She wanted a water birth, but her midwife was like, it's really interesting because you did so much better like outside of the pool. And she said
yeah.
she felt better
Better
outside,
outside. Yeah.
yeah, than inside. It's
I
so
heard a lot of
interesting.
women don't like it. One of my friends started out in the pool and
Uh-huh.
she said that she didn't like it because
Interesting.
she could feel the water going inside of
Ooh,
her. Um,
yeah. Yeah, when you're trying
yeah.
to push out, yeah, I get it. But yeah, it was like an incredible experience. I felt this rush. I felt adrenaline and dopamine, and I was like, maybe because I'm a woman, I don't know,
Yeah.
but there was this rush, and it was just incredible. I cried. I recorded my face crying, like
I
not crying,
saw
but
that.
I was like,
I saw that.
oh my gosh, it was just incredible. It was incredible. So we got it on video, we got it on photo. Yeah, her whole family was there, which was like really cool. She just like
Who was
so
there? Were her
her
kids there? Her the
her
kids?
kids were there taking pictures. Like her daughter had
I
a phone.
love
Her daughter
that.
just turned, I think she turned 8, and so she just got a phone, and
I
she's like
love that.
recording, and she was like, "Ew, why does she look like that?" Like as soon as she came out. My friend was like, that was my favorite part when my daughter said that. She's just like so this friend is so unbothered, and she had like her dad was in the room. Her mom was in the room.
Whoa,
Her
wow.
sister, her niece, everybody was in there.
I
And the
couldn't do
dog,
that.
and the dog. The dog was like every time a big labor, like a big contraction came through, the dog like would run over and like comfort
Wow.
her, and she held the paw of the dog. I got some really cool pictures. But yeah, it was like the whole family was there. Her husband was a great support. It was crazy, crazy
That is
moment.
so crazy. I bet that like is so, I don't know. Yeah, so special.
It was
Like I'm not gonna look at the photos, but I'm
Yeah.
sure that like
Yeah.
they turned out really great.
Yeah. I was honored to be a part of that.
So they didn't check her dilation or anything, right? They just waited until she was ready.
They they checked her like one time and she was like, check me again, check me again. And the midwife was like, why do you want me to check you?
Mm-hmm.
And she didn't have an answer. So the midwife didn't check her again. Like, I think she just, because she remembered that that wasn't a part of the plan. She didn't want to get checked.
Yeah.
She wanted to just go. And so, yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yeah. It was
When I
really
gave birth
great.
to my second daughter, I could physically feel her body coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I gotta push. I need to let this baby out. But with Lenny though, I was waiting for that like sensation to push and I never felt it.
Really?
Yeah, I just had to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like, you're 10 centimeters, your water broke. Like, she's right
Were
there.
you in pain?
I mean, I was feeling the contractions, yeah, but I had to give it my all to like, maybe eventually, like, I don't know.
You were
It was
just
different.
You were gone. You unmedicated, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey.
Yeah. Anyways, that's so
Wild
crazy.
times.
I could never have a home birth.
Yes, you could.
I
could.
wouldn't want to. I love a hospital stay. I love
People coming to check on you.
I love
You
the
need anything?
yes. I love
I
to
do
be there for a
too.
couple days. I love the hospital food actually.
Yeah, that's an unpopular opinion.
I love it. I'm on vacation. I'm like, yes, bring me the food,
Yeah,
bring me
let
my
me try
dessert.
everything. Yeah.
But the last, like with Lenny, my last baby, it was kind of scary being in there because we had some complications. But anyways, that's like another story.
Yeah, we'll
for
have to
another day.
talk about that in the next one.
Anyways, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool. Really cool.
You ready to have another?
You know, that kind of did make me want to have another one, but it reminded me of the pain. And I was like, oh,
Why would I want to do that again?
yeah, like it just, oh gosh, just working through
But
that.
I
it's
just feel like, I don't know, the feeling is just insane. Like afterwards, like the adrenaline that you feel afterwards,
it's the best.
it's like, and I look at my
So
husband and
good.
I'm like, you could never.
Right. You can never
You
do
could
this.
never. Men can never.
Can
Like,
never.
okay, so for today's episode, we actually put up a poll and asked what you guys wanted to hear about, what topic you wanted us to discuss. And everyone, well, the majority ruled that they wanted to hear about our career journey and
Yep.
how we got to where we are now in our careers. And it's so different. You and I have two completely different jobs.
Yeah, we do.
And I think it's cool to hear from both perspectives.
Yep.
I have a question. What did you want to be when you were younger? Like when you were younger,
Yeah.
what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a storm chaser. Like I wanted to, yeah, like when I saw Twister for the first time and they would like throw the little, I don't know, those little gadgets into the storm to track it and stuff. Like I wanted to do that. I wanted to chase tornadoes.
Did you ever attempt?
No, I didn't. But well, I was like driving home from the mall one time, Concord Mills, and I saw a tornado behind me and I was nervous and I was like, I've never a real live tornado. Like I saw a tornado and everyone on the highway were just like racing away from it. It was crazy.
See,
It wasn't
that
close
is,
enough
like,
for me
one-
to
that is,
freak,
one
but
of
I was
my-
like,
that
need to get home.
that's one of my worst fears is like to be caught up in a tornado.
yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I don't.
But
Wow.
I wanted to do that. I even like would write fiction about it. I know.
Okay, writer.
I know.
Who are you?
Who am
About storm chasing?
I? Storm chasing. Mm-hmm.
So you watched the show like Storm Chasers, or
Yeah. Well, I watched Twister over and over
Twister.
again. Yeah.
Is that what Twister's about? Like,
Yeah. They're studying the storm, and they have this theory that if they put all these like devices, like these little gadgets, if they can get the tornado to suck it up, then they can track the storm and they can study it. And
Oh.
so they have to go to the storm in order to track it.
Wasn't
and to
there a
trace
new
it.
Twister that just came out?
Yes, there was. I haven't seen it. I feel like it could never compare to the old Twister. So
Did you ever watch Sharknado?
Yeah, I was so dumb. So dumb.
I feel like I may have watched that with you one time. Maybe.
I probably made you watch it because like
Wow.
sharks and like that's the thing. You know, I love sharks. I've seen every Jaws movie, every shark movie, Piranha, everything. I love those Jaws movies so much. So if you put like a Twister tornado in with shark,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm watching it. But that was trash. Like it was so
Who
bad.
came up with that?
Probably
feel
somebody like me.
That's crazy. So, like, did you want to be a meteorologist or just
No,
like
I just
a
wanted to like
s-
be driving a truck. Like, come on, get in, let's go. Like I don't know.
Are you like a thrill seeker?
Probably
Like, think about this. Are you a thrill seeker right now?
not now as a mom. No, like I wanted to skydive, and then I had kids, and I was like, no, because they need me just in case, like something, you know.
Okay, Kim
But yeah,
Kardashian.
definitely.
Remember she said
Why
that?
she said that same thing?
She was like ziplining or something, and she was like, "It's different now that I'm a mother," like
It
something
is.
like
It
that.
does. It feels different.
Uh,
I used to be much more of a thrill
yeah.
seeker. Like even roller coasters. I'm like,
Oh no, I get headaches now when
yeah.
I ride roller coasters.
Wait, what did you want to be when you grew up? When you were a kid?
Grew up.
When you grew up? We all grew up.
Okay, so I just recall the only memory I have of saying like I really wanted like this is what I want to do with my life.
Mhm.
When I was like in elementary school, I wanted to be a cheetah girl.
Cheetah girl, cheetah sister.
Like Disney Channel was my jam, and me and my sister would record all the shows. Lizzie McGuire,
Mhm.
That's So Raven, Even Stevens, Cheetah Girls. We knew all the songs, we knew all the dances. We recorded ourselves in the camera recorder, and
I
I
remember
took
that.
modeling and acting classes when I was younger, and I begged my mom. I'm like, Mom, please, let's move to LA. Like that's my only chance of being a star is like if we move to LA, and I think that's valid.
It's
You know, at
valid.
that back then,
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
"Yeah, you can move to LA when you turn 18." And I was like,
Really?
"Yeah."
She would say that?
Yeah, she said, "When you turn
Wow.
18, you could do whatever you want." And I was like, "Okay." So I did. I mean, I loved acting. I loved my favorite like in school was improv.
Yeah,
Obsessed with improv. But I
that's
never
fun.
did like theater like in high
Really?
school or I did theater in middle school, but I didn't do it in high school. I took one theater class in high school. But in middle school, I was
Hmm.
really into choir, chorus. I used to do competitive um go in competitions in middle school for
Okay.
chorus. And so, yeah, singing, dancing, acting.
Yeah.
That was my jam, you know what
You're
I
a
mean?
star. You're a star.
I'm a star, I'm a triple threat. But anyways, obviously I'm not a Disney Channel star, but I don't know.
Maybe one day.
Maybe I'll play a big sister one day or something.
Not a mom, a big sister. You think very highly of yourself. I'm just kidding.
I'm thinking like in the next couple of years. So let's first, I feel like your job and what you do for a living is you talk all the time. You share all the time about like how you got into the career that you're in. So let me go first.
Yeah, please.
I feel like your stuff is probably a little bit more exciting. Not true.
No, it's not true.
Not true. Okay. I have a couple notes. Okay, let's just say aside from being a Disney Channel star, once I realized that wasn't happening when I got to high school, for whatever reason, I just never thought about my future. I
Mm,
never thought about like what happens to me post high school.
mm,
And I don't think I really had anyone in my life to help me think through that for whatever reason. And my parents would say like you need to get good grades, but I never knew why.
mm.
And I was definitely a person that was like, why? Like, if I can just graduate, like, that's fine. And I barely graduated. And it wasn't until junior, senior year, I was like, wait a minute, all my friends are going to college. Like, maybe I should start thinking about college. Um, Long story short, I graduated, barely made it out, and went to community college. And yeah, I mean, I think when everyone graduates college, not everyone, a lot of people, a handful of people, when you graduate, sorry, high school, and you go to college, you're kind of in this like identity crisis. You're
Mhm.
like, wait a minute, like,
Now what?
what am I doing with my life? I'm an adult now. I'm 18. Like, what am I gonna do? That's kind of what I was going through, and I was like, yeah, in a very depressive state. I think I was in a depressive state for a while, but more so, especially like when I graduated high school. Um, so around the same time, let me get my thought.
Well, it's so interesting because you you were supposed to come to college with me.
Yes, but I
We
failed a
like
class. And that's
girl,
why I
like
did it.
we literally went to, what was it, orientation. We spent the
Orientation.
night in the
Mm-hmm.
dorm.
Yep. I registered for all my classes,
Yeah,
like
man.
signed up for like housing and everything, but it's because I didn't pass one class. Um,
That was really hard. Like,
that
but
was
you,
really hard.
well, it was
Yeah.
hard because I'm like, I was expecting to start with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a really rough first year. That was
Yeah.
hard. I wanted to go back home so bad.
I mean, you had a boyfriend.
Yeah, it
That I feel like
sucked.
don't go. My advice: don't go to college with a
Don't
boyfriend.
do
Just
it. It
kidding.
was
Do what you want.
awful. If it's a healthy relationship, cool, but mine was not. I had a toxic boyfriend.
But okay, I would say this. I just never thought about what I want to do with my life,
Mm-hmm.
what I'm good at. Like I was like, am I good at anything? I actually believe that I wasn't good at anything. I believe like I didn't have any passions. I'm like, I'm not passionate about anything. I don't think I'm very talented in any way. Like that's where I was. So I kind of had to
Mm-hmm.
like think through like, do I have anything going for myself? I don't know. And then I met the Lord, the good Lord.
The good Lord.
The good Lord. And I think when I started following Jesus, it was like a rebirth, obviously, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
When you are in Christ, you become a new creation. And I was like living my life again.
Yeah.
And I think that I really started to seek God, and seek what my purpose was for my life, or like how just simply like, what do you think of me, God? Just that simple question. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think of me?
Mm-hmm.
And I think then was when I really started to think about like, okay, like how did he make me? How did he wire me? Like he knows me. He had me in mind when I was in my mother's womb or even before, you
Mm-hmm.
know, like so I'm like, how what does God think of me? And so I think that began my journey of like discovering my strengths. And
Yeah.
really I didn't really discover that until I moved away from our hometown, Charlotte, and
Mm.
transferred to East Carolina University, where I got away from just my norm and what I've been for so long. Um, Away from distractions, away from everything. I'm in a new place of discovery. And I'm like, okay, now is my time to like figure this out.
Yeah.
And I had a really great community. I was like a part of a church, a part of a campus ministry that helped me discover those things about myself. Um, and one thing with college was like, I knew like I'm here in college, I'm gonna try everything. Like I'm gonna join so many different clubs. Anything
Yeah.
I have like a small interest in, like I'm just gonna like do it and figure out if I'm good at anything. And so if anyone's wondering like, how do I figure out my strengths? How do I figure out like if I'm good at this?
Mm-hmm.
Just try it.
Yeah.
Someone said I heard someone say recently, like, just try it and you'll learn quickly if you're good at it
Yeah.
or not.
That's true.
And so that was me. I was trying different things. I'm like, I have an interest in like fashion. I have free electives. I'm like, let me go take some like fashion classes. I did
Mm-hmm.
love that. Joined the fashion club, took some trips down to Atlanta, worked in Atlanta from time to time, obsessed with that. I was like, maybe I'll like work for the newspaper. And I like went and like applied for that, got that job. But then I had to choose between working for the newspaper
Mm-hmm.
or the radio station.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I would love to work for the radio station because I loved music. And so I had a radio show in college. Um, yeah, and I think that helped me to see like, okay, I'm good at engaging the community.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good at event planning. I'm good at strategizing. Like I just learned all these things
Yeah.
about myself. Um, and from there I began to think about like, okay, like, well, what job would I like to have that I can use all these gifts,
Mm-hmm.
or all these strengths of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm trying to gather my thoughts. So you talk about this all the time. Like I don't have to think about
I
this.
know.
So I'm trying to
Yeah.
paint this big picture.
Okay. So you're in all these clubs. You're trying these new things. You're in radio. You've
Mhm.
done these. You were even like going to Atlanta to do fashion shows and like
Mhm.
coordinating those. I remember like
Mhm.
around that time. But after you graduated, how did you get your now job?
Yeah. So after I graduated, I was actually married my senior year
That's
of
crazy. I can't even
college.
imagine being
Well,
married.
the thing is, I was 23 when I got married. Devon and I were 23 years old, and I spent a lot of time getting my bachelor's degree.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I spent maybe 6 years getting my bachelor's degree. So I was kind of like 23 is young. I do think that's young, but I was also kind of old
You were
enough.
old.
You know
Yeah,
what I
you were
mean?
older.
But I spent my last year in college married, and Devon had a job working in ministry, full-time ministry at our local church during, yeah, my last year. And I was like, like any job that I'm interested in, I don't think that it's here. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think that, and back then there wasn't anything remote. And I was like, I don't think it's here. And so I just believe that there wasn't anything for me except for ministry because my husband was already doing
Mm-hmm.
it and like I could do it. I was a student leader in the campus ministry. So I was like, yeah, like I think I'll just go into ministry with my husband
Mm.
after graduation. And so that's what I had planned. But then, like, while I was preparing to go to like school for ministry, um, I just realized that like this is me making a decision based off of fear.
Mm.
Like, in a sense, ministry was easy. And ministry is not easy, but it felt easy to me because I was already doing it and my husband was already doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to do whatever my husband's doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the root of that was like, not that I can't do ministry, but like the root of that was like, I didn't believe that there was something else for me
Mm.
other than that.
Yeah.
And I remember going through a time period where I was like, I need to fast about this. I need to pray about this. And I need to go to the Lord and like hear for sure that like I'm supposed to go into full-time vocational ministry.
Yeah.
And yeah, just during that process, I was talking to some mentors and fasted. And I just like, God was like, it's okay to dream. Like I remember
Mm.
hearing that, like, it's okay to dream.
Mm.
And at the time, I didn't know what that meant. I'm like, I don't even know what dreaming is.
Mm.
But all I know is that I can take a step out of faith and say, like, this is scary to not do what I think is safe, but to do something like just completely different, unplanned. Like, So, anyways, I didn't know what to do, so I just got an admin job at the university.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I worked at admin job for 3 years. And it's like you look at that and you're like, oh, like you were just doing an admin job working front desk or like working like I worked for like 3 different offices. Um and so but I would say that during those 3 years I got so much experience in
Mm.
so many different things. Like I learned how to do finances. I learned how to manage grants, multi-million dollar grants.
I remember that.
I learned how
They were
to
trusting you with like a lot of money.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like I learned how to plan events.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to like plan a whole summer program for future doctors at the School of Medicine. Like I just learned so many valuable things. I learned how to hire people. Like it was just so valuable, like my time spent there. And you would look at that, people look at that and be like, you're just working an admin job.
I mean, you looked at it like that when you were working it.
At first.
Yeah.
At first.
Yeah.
And right now currently, so how I got to my job now, so at the time I had my first daughter, post COVID, 3 years in is post COVID, and I'm thinking, I want a remote job. I don't want to work this admin job forever. And I want more pay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for something else. That's not admin.
Did you have any kids at this point?
Gianna, I had one.
Okay.
I had one. And I thought, okay, what can I take from all of my years of experience in this admin job? And like, what can I narrow down,
Mm-hmm.
tweak my resume to, and get a new job? And that it happened to be and what I found was a job in talent acquisition,
Mm-hmm.
which is HR. Working a temp job. I was like, a temp job, like it's not permanent. Like I can lose it at any time. But I just knew I was like, I need to take this first step to work a temp job to get my foot in the door
Mm-hmm.
and get a little bit of experience.
Yeah.
So I did that. And then while I was working the temp job, I'm like, I need to look for something permanent. So I took my experience from the temp job, put it on my resume to look for a permanent, like full-time job. And that is how I got to.
I hope y'all are listening to the strategy.
Yeah,
this
it's
is
strategy.
This is strategy.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Like this is literally like you're so good at it, and you've even helped Will, my husband, strategize and like orchestrate landing a position.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I think very
You
strategically,
do.
and I've learned like I could tweak my resume for almost any kind of
Anything,
job
anything, yeah.
because of those 3 years of admin.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I'll get into this a little bit later in a sec, but like the experience I had serving and volunteering in ministry too, I'm
yeah,
able to
for
add
sure.
all that onto my resume. So right now, currently, I work for a consulting firm and I work in recruiting. So I love my job. Um, is it a dream job? No, but I like it a lot and it's a good fit for me right now.
Mhm.
And um although I'm not although I'm not using my God-given passions and gifts in the way that I imagine I would there in my job, I have learned that like if I don't do that in a career, that doesn't mean that I can't do that elsewhere.
Mhm.
And so one of the places that I've been able to utilize my God-given gifts is in the church.
Mhm.
It's at my church and
Yep.
serving there. We were in a very small church, and at first, I'm gonna be honest, I'll be very vulnerable. At first, I felt like I was above it.
Mhm.
I'm like, this like small church, like, is my work here really like valuable? You know what I mean? But I just remember God speaking to me and saying, like, how can I entrust you with big things if you're not faithful with the little things like right in front of
Mhm.
you?
Mhm.
And I was like, oh shoot, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I started to put this like lens on that's like, this is where you grow. Like, here in the
Mhm.
church where you
Mhm.
serve. And that
That's
could be
right.
anywhere. I mean, I was in children's ministry, I was doing social media, communication. Where I last served, where I spent um, the last year and a half was serving in women's ministry and being like the women's director's right hand woman. So I was like event planning, doing a lot of like the creative directing, designing merch, designing books. Um, and I love that and just so many more.
Yeah.
And I think those are where like that's my wheelhouse. That's what I love doing. And
Yeah. You're really
um
good at it. I went to one of the events that you planned with your team
mhm,
at the church, and it was like that women's event, and you
mhm.
guys had like a panel, and then you gave everyone, what was it? Like a little jar of
Salt.
salt.
Yeah.
Yes. And that was really like memorable. And then like we had soup and salad. I think it was like soup and salad.
Yeah.
And that was really good. It was memorable. You know,
Yeah.
you created like a very memorable
Yeah.
event and you worked with the budget that they gave you and it was beautiful. And so yeah, I do
Yeah.
think that like it's beautiful that you're able to use your giftings for the
Yeah.
church.
Many of the people probably feel that same way too. Like, why would I serve? Why would I give my
Hmm.
time to this? You know what I mean? But you never know what you
Yeah.
can use that experience for. First of all, A, how God can use you
Yeah.
in the church um, to advance the kingdom, to reach
Hmm.
people. But two, like, you can also build your resume
Yeah.
professionally through what you do in the church too.
Yeah.
And like, I'm thinking, like, if anybody wants to ever work for Lisa Turkhurst, Proverbs 31, like, you don't just go work for her, like,
Yeah.
with nothing on your resume. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But start small somewhere, get your reps in somewhere,
Hmm.
and that can really grow. Yeah, that can really grow your resume. Or if you
Yeah.
want to be like an event planner for Vogue or something, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you have to, again, start somewhere.
Yeah. I agree.
So, I mean, naturally, I'm doing ministry, like I mentioned, like in
Hmm.
another episode with my husband. But I really do enjoy working in a secular space. I think it gives me the opportunity to see the world and be around different people,
Hmm.
rather than just being in this like Christian like bubble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's been really cool, especially working at the university, like being able to have like gospel conversations, being able to pray for like coworkers and stuff, like
Yeah.
has been, um, you know, has been cool. I mean, it's different now. I work remote now, so I don't really get a lot
Yeah.
of like one on one with my coworkers, but yeah, that's something that I'm working on, praying about.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's how I got into my career. And as far as my future, I don't know. I feel like I'm at a place where I'm just like, I'm very content.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't feel like I'm like personally right now, I just don't feel like I need to chase anything. I don't need to like,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
climb any ladder or like hustle. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just fine right now serving my family this way, have
Mhm.
like being in my job and doing stuff like this. I mean, Devon
Yeah.
and I are working on a really big project next year, and you guys.
That's why you don't feel like you need to climb anywhere, because you're
That's
about to take a
true.
plunge.
Yes, so I don't want to say too
Yeah.
much about that,
Yeah.
but
That's really exciting. But
anyway, let's talk
yeah.
about you. So you weren't gonna be a storm chaser?
I wasn't going to be a storm chaser. In fact, I almost like didn't even go to college myself.
What?
Yeah. Like I thought I was going to App State. That was like, that's
That's
where
college.
I thought I was going, but I didn't get in.
Okay, so you're saying that like because you didn't get in, you were
Yeah,
like,
I
I don't
didn't get
even
in.
know if
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
get
go.
in anywhere. And then do you remember the in school suspension teacher?
Yes.
What was his name?
Oof.
Why can't I remember? I could see his face clear as day.
Is that Lauren's
Yeah.
Okay,
What's her last name?
Brooke?
Brooks. Coach Brooks.
Okay.
Coach Brooks. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, so Coach Brooks, like he helped me get into A&T.
Yeah.
Like last minute, he's like, I got some friends that'll pull some strings, and I was like, all right, bet. And then so yeah, so it was interesting that you and I both got in. I don't know how that happened, but anyway, so ended up going to A&T, and then I majored in journalism, mass communications. I think I knew from the jump, like I wanted to be on TV, like I wanted to be, really wanted to be like the next Roxy or Free from One of Susan Park. I really wanted to do like red carpet interviews and all those things. And then, but they really like kind of like molded me to be more of like a newscaster, a news anchor. And I realized that I could not have my own opinion. I had to report facts, and I hated that. I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
I really want to do entertainment. And so, and you've asked me this before, like, why do you think the doors always close? Like, why do you think like you make it just far enough and then like the door closes? And I really think that's God's hand on my life, honestly, because I went to LA. I made it to the final round of like an apprenticeship with NBC Universal and didn't get it. And I was like, for sure, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get this. And like didn't get it. I was shocked.
I remember that.
I was shocked because I like round 3 flew out to LA.
Yeah.
And it was just like it just never quite worked out, and I don't know what it is, and I really don't think that it was me. I don't like. I think that
Really?
I don't. I think that I think I know what
Are you all that behind a bag of potato chips?
No, I think that I was taught well by my school. I think A&T did a great job. You know, I remember doing like we did makeup. They trained us in front of the camera, behind the camera, editing, voiceovers, everything you could ever like. I was well trained. And I truly believe that I was good at what I was doing, but I really think it was God's hand. I think that LA could have been dangerous for me. I think that I could have fallen into a trap. I could have been at a white party. I could have been on the island.
Oh, like that just okay, yeah, that just registered to me. Okay,
you know, like I feel like that could have been it could have been me. I got accepted into this women in entertainment. I don't even know if I want to say that name. I got accepted to this organization. It kind of felt like, so there was like tryouts, so there was auditions, and then once you get accepted, you spend the summer in New York. And so I did that, and that was amazing. But it felt like a reality show a lot of times, because like we would have like different challenges and stuff. It was fun. But I remember we were supposed to go to Russell Simmons' house and like be the hostesses of the night, and and I want to say we like this could be like a false memory, but I don't know why we were supposed to wear all a certain color, like one color, whether it was white or black. I don't remember. I don't want to say the wrong thing, but anyway, so I remember I decided to, the night before, you know, me trying to like just get everything in at one time, I took a bus to Jersey because this singer, Leah Robinson, hey girl, she like, I was like, I want to shoot some stuff for you. Like, so I went, like, she had a studio in her home, and I like just shot some videos of her. We went out and recorded things. And then I shot back on the bus to get back to class the next day. So this was like a quick trip. And I was like 10 minutes late. And as soon as I walk in, they were like, that's strike 3, you're out. Like, that's it. Cause like, I think I had been late. Yeah. Like I had been late, but also the girls came to me and was like, yeah, that like the way they treated you was not fair. Like we saw it. There was some weird stuff. There was some really, really weird stuff. And it was no good. But anyway, I didn't get to go to Russell Simmons' house, but everybody else did. And I just like, I think back and I'm like, God, I feel like that was your hand. Yeah. I think that was his hand on my life. I think that while it was learning lessons, I sat with that once I got kicked out, was like racking my brain. What all did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And I searched myself for all the wrong. And then years later, the girls came to me and were like, Jordan, you weren't wrong. You weren't like, they told me, they gave me the inside scoop of what was really going down. And that was kind of crazy. I'm like, dang, well, at least I worked through what I thought was wrong.
Yeah, but even still, that was God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was still God.
Protecting you,
Mhm.
probably. I mean, imagine
Yeah.
if you would have stayed, like,
Yeah.
knowing all what you know
Yeah.
now. Like,
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. You could have been on BET.
I could have been on BET, but you know what? Like all that stuff is like, so I really believe that God like took the taste out of my mouth for like the fame, the all the things that I thought I wanted.
Mhm.
It's so unimpressive. Like, it's no disrespect. I admire people's craft, their art, but like fame and like a lot of followers and all those things, it just doesn't do anything for me. And I think I was saying this to you like last week. I was like, you know what's impressive? Character, integrity. That's actually impressive to me. When people can like stand on business like in such an integral way, like that's impressive. But like, I don't know. I'm just so unimpressed by
Yeah.
celebrity status. Like it's just like, and so like, and I'm not trying to say like it's not cool. Like I'm not trying to be like, you know what I'm saying? But it's like
Mhm.
you're a person. While yes, you might have this gift to do this, or you might be graced in a certain area to do this. Like it's not impressive.
Yeah.
It like the I think the fame the world gives, it's just unimpressive to me. And it used to be very impressive. It used to be very alluring to me. It used to be very attractive. And now I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm glad because I can be in a room with someone who people would faint. Like people literally faint when they get in contact with celebrities. That's crazy.
Yes, it is.
That's demonic. Is there anyone that you would faint with? Like if you saw them, met them, shook their hand, would you faint?
Well, I did meet a Duke basketball player
I'm sorry.
during March Madness. And
I'm
if
sorry.
you guys watch March Madness this past year, they got pretty far. Okay. And I live in Durham, which is where Duke University is.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Now, I'm just trying to like bring this into context. Like when I saw him, I got very like excited, very nervous.
Why? Like
I don't
really, let's
know.
dig into this. Like why do we think? Is it just because they know so many people or so many people know
No,
them?
I don't
What
know.
is it?
I think it was like Devon and I are big Duke fans.
Okay,
Duke
okay.
basketball fans. So just the fact that I'm like,
Is it because he's so good at basketball? Is that why?
I think it's because we were watching him every day almost
Okay.
play basketball. And
Okay.
like these
Okay.
kids that we see play basketball. But the thing is, in my brain, I knew like this is not even a big deal.
Yeah, I know.
But it's like,
'Cause you're not that
you're
type of
like,
person
this is
anyway.
crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I feel it. It's
and
like
he's
almost
just
like
a basketball player.
is it
That's
like almost like a parasocial relationship? Like I know him, like I follow him every day, like I watch him play, like I'm cheering for him in the stands. Is it like that? Do you feel like you knew him when you saw him?
I don't feel like I know him.
Okay.
But I mean, it was fun because I'm like, my immediate thought when I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to tell Devon.
Yeah.
I was like, I have to tell Devon so we can be
No,
like,
like I'm not trying to take away. It is exciting when you see a celebrity. It is.
yeah.
It's just, but I think you two are the same way as me, like where you're not easily impressed
No.
by status or like,
Unless you're a Duke basketball player.
yeah, that's it. Like that, I feel like if you saw Beyonce, you'd be like, oh, that's cool. But Duke basketball player, like, oh shoot, Devon, like,
Yeah, exactly. I think it's more exciting just the fact that I can like share that with Devon.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like
I got you.
other than that, it's not necessarily him
Yeah,
more than anything. It's just the fact that like,
yeah,
Devon, this is crazy. Like, this is our
Mhm,
team.
mhm.
And we just saw one of the starting 5 players.
Yeah.
Well, I just saw one of the starting 5 players.
yeah.
I don't know, but just the fact that I was like, oh, shoot. Like,
It is cool. It is cool. And I will also say this, not only do I feel like God kind of gave me like this feeling of like, I'm not impressed. I admire the gifts and all the gifting and the work that's
Mhm.
done. Admire that, but I'm not moved like I used to be. But I think also my university prepared us for that because we were doing interviews with celebrities. Like that was something that I did. I couldn't be like, oh my gosh.
you've never been starstruck over anybody? Ever?
No, I don't think so. I went to the Lion Babe concert.
Mm-hmm.
She's Vanessa. I think Vanessa is it Vanessa Williams' daughter. Anyway,
Oh. Okay.
anyway, so I went to Lion Babe concert and I was in awe. She could dance, she could sing, she was captivating, beautiful, like just
Mm-hmm.
all the things. And I was like, oh my gosh. But like again, that was like my first time seeing her. I don't know. I was
Yeah.
there to interview her. So I think I've been like groomed to not be groomed. I know it's a bad word. I've been trained to not be like, oh my gosh, because when you're interviewed, like I interviewed oh my gosh, what's his name? He's bald. He's
Bald.
bald guy. Heavyset, Fat Joe.
Neo.
Fat Joe. Fat Joe.
Oh, you
I
interviewed. Okay.
Yeah. Wasn't starstruck, but I did like kind of like ask him, like I asked him a stupid question. I was like, so when you tweeted da 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 the other day, what did you mean by that? And he was like, I don't know, I was just talking, just tweeting. Like it was a stupid question. He's like, why are you asking me that? I'm just like I was trying to like
Was
ask
it for a radio
something.
station or what?
No, it was for Made in the District when Nicole Panito
Oh, okay,
had
yeah,
that
yeah.
production, and I like got the job like
Yeah.
interviewing celebrities and all that stuff. Yeah, so like it's something that I've done. So it's not, and I think that you have to be that way if you are an interviewer. If you are, you know, you can't be like, oh my gosh, I cannot.
No,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? You have to like.
Well, I'm not an
sorry.
interviewer, so I can freak out.
You can freak out. You can freak out. I just remember growing up, I wished that I could like felt like that crush. Like people would have like, you know, the posters plastered on walls and they have an obsession with like Chris Brown or Aaron Carter or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't feel that, but I would put the posters up anyway. I was like, I wish I wish I was obsessed. I had wished that I was obsessed, but I didn't feel like how everyone was like, oh my gosh, I love him. And I was just like, me too. But I didn't feel it. I don't know. Like I just never had that obsession in me to that degree. I don't know.
Okay, good for you.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm obsessed with you.
Me. I'm obsessed with you too. I mean, I would
Oh
I fangirl over you. I do.
I know, Jordan Nicholson.
Oh my gosh, Alyssa, I just can't believe she's my best friend. It's crazy. Back to how I got to like this place. So Will and I got married. And then a year into marriage,
At this point where you like, whatever, I'm gonna let it go. Like my dream.
Well, I had moved to DC to chase that dream, and I got a job like bartending and serving, and I was like trying to chase that dream. I was doing some like videography work for news stations and stuff. I was doing some acting, I was doing some modeling. I was trying to get more in front of the camera. Will ended up like graduating college, and then he moved to DC too, and I just like felt God like, no, you need to live holy. And so I moved back home. And I was like, I don't know. I literally was like, God, I don't care. Like, I want to follow you. Like, I will give that life up. And that was a big sacrifice for me at the time. I remember really struggling and wrestling with it. But I'm like, if I stay here, I'm going to live in sin with my boyfriend. And I really want to live for the Lord. And so I moved home and still struggled. But that was a big sacrifice for me to go home. Still struggle with that because Will ended up moving to Charlotte too. And I'm like, bro, just marry me at this point. Like, come on now. What are we doing? And we did. We did. Yeah. We ended up getting married. But I remember when I moved home, I was really trying to find my way. And Will and I decided to create Yoked Creative Media. We were not married at this time, but we created Yoked Creative Media, like equally yoked, right? We spelled it like an egg yolk instead of like a YOLK. And so I remember I was like, oh, what if we get on Canva and we make some like fake flyers and like we just like grow our portfolio from that and like just see what happens. And so that's where it started. Yoked Creative Media started off.
So was it graphic design or was
graphic design, like like business cards and flyers for parties and things like that.
Where'd you learn how to do that? Just school?
Canva.
Just Canva. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I literally like that was like we were really like just winging it at that point. And so I started like asking people like, hey, do you need these services? Like we do the business cards. I was just using Canva templates, and this was before Canva was even good.
Were you also running social medias for people too?
I was running social medias for people. And so I went to I don't know if you remember when I worked at Sports One.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I finally get to talk about this. Thank God.
Your NDA's up.
Yes, my NDA's up. Thank God. Okay, so Peter Thomas, I'm name dropping. Ooh. Okay, yeah, Peter Thomas from Real Housewives worked for him, but this is how I did it. So I really needed money. I was waiting tables, but I really wanted to get into like the social media side of things. And so I knocked on the door, and this is like during the day.
Did you know he worked there?
Yeah. Oh, I did my
Oh, okay,
research.
okay.
I literally made a list of all the celebrity where all the celebrities worked and played and
Okay.
owned. And that was one of them. And I was
Okay.
like, okay, because my thought was I need to be a celebrity social media manager. That's what
Okay.
I was thinking. And so I was like, oh, okay, sports one, cool, put it on my list. And so I went, knocked on the door. It's crazy, like talking, like thinking, reminiscing about this. So I knock on the door at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then Peter Thomas's brother, I think, answered. I think it was his brother answered, and yeah, he was like, oh yeah, let me go get Peter. He's in the back, and I was like, oh cool, okay. Peter Thomas comes. I'm like, hey, like I am a social media manager. I do it, da 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 da. And so he's like, oh okay, come on in. And I had like I had some fake work that I did for
Mhm.
other people, other fake clients.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I showed him. He's like, all right, well, we really need a server. Can we start you there and then we can work our way up? And so I started serving, and then he finally had me transition like into bartending and bartending. And then he was like, okay, well, we need you at the club at Club One to do events. And so I was like booking parties
Mhm.
and then doing social media and stuff too. I learned a lot, but you know what really like did it for me was this day where they were like I don't know if I think they had sage or something, and they were like saging the place. And I was just they were like, oh, we need to get all these evil spirits out of here that come from the club. I'm like, the
Mm.
only way to get rid of the evil spirits in here is Jesus. And he was like, don't ever say Jesus in here.
Mm.
He yelled at me, and I was like, I was like, I prayed. I was like, Lord, please get me out of here. Please get me out of here. Please get me out of here. We had a Chamber of Commerce event that I planned. So like I coordinated with this guy, James Matthews, this guy, right? He was like a part. So he was attending the Chamber of Commerce event, but he worked at a financial planning company. And so he was there, and I was like there taking pictures of this event at the club, right? Because they do daytime events and evening events, whatever. It's an event venue. And so I meet this guy, James Matthews, and he was like, "Hey, would you be interested in working for a financial planning company?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?" And so I did the interview process with him. With him and his team, and I made it to like the third round, and they were like, all right, here you go, here's the paperwork. I got the job, and that was my first big girl job. I left Sports One. I had just prayed in Sports One and Club One, and I just prayed. I was like, God, please get me out of here. Please get me out of here. And so yeah, I started my job at the financial planning company, working, and it was for millennials, which was really cool. It was a startup. So they had
Mhm.
like the bigger company, and then they were like, we're gonna do this for millennials. So it was like fun. All the furniture was new and fresh and young. And so I was doing social media and marketing and things for them. And then I came in one day, this was like maybe a year into working there. I come in and all the lights are off. And James is like, my boss, he's like, we're shutting it down. And I'm like,
All the lights are
what?
off, like
Yeah. Yeah.
like
The
the
lights
bills
were,
weren't paid, or
no, it was like, I don't know
like they're
why.
just closing it. Like,
Yeah, they were closing it. It was like, we're not even turning the lights on today, but the lights still worked.
oh, okay. I was like,
Yeah.
you couldn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, that's it. And I'm like, this is actually crazy. And so, I ended up, I didn't feel like I wasn't worried. Okay. I don't know why. I wasn't really
And
worried
you were
at this point.
married.
I was married.
Okay.
Yeah. Will worked at Honda
Mhm.
selling cars, which, he was still getting his feet wet in there. Like, I don't know. But I got another job at this graphic design company doing the same thing, like
Mhm.
social media marketing events, things like that. And then I got laid off again. And this is all within the span of like just like 3 months. And I'm
Mhm.
like, what the heck is going on? And that's when I had this thought of like, Jordan, you've never given your business 100%. I've always had one foot in, one foot out. I've done a little dabble here. I never tried to go all in. And so this was like really pushing me to go all in. And I was like, all right, Lord, like, all right, I guess I got to do this. And then I found out I'm pregnant. So that was just like icing on the cake.
Oh.
That was icing on the cake. So I'm laid off. Like we had to get on every kind of government assistance there was, because if he didn't sell a car, he wasn't getting paid. Like
Yeah.
we barely had anything at that time. It
I'm
was
trying to think. So
tough.
you weren't working when you had Charlie?
No, I
You were
wasn't.
doing the
I was doing my
business.
business.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I
Okay.
was starting the business, and
Wow.
so
Okay.
I started like posting content. So I'm thinking, okay, if I wrote out a number. I was like, I need X amount a month in order for our finances, everything to be covered. I was posting on my personal page, like just life stuff, lifestyle, and I was managing my clients' work. So these random brands were finding me on my social media.
But was that intentional though? Like wanting to get paid on, like wanting to do
Yeah.
brand deals? That was
Yeah.
intentional. How did you realize that you could get brand deals?
Well, they saw that I was pregnant. Brands started seeing I was pregnant. They were sending me like skincare. So like I was getting free stuff. And then when Charlie started walking this brand, you know what I think? I think it was a platform. I think it was like Aspire or something. And I just like applied to post content for them. And they
Mm-hmm.
sent me this baby walker. And then they paid me $100. And I was like, oh,
Did you have a lot of followers then?
under 10,000 at that time.
Was that your intention though, like to grow your following to make money
Yeah.
from brand
Yes, for
deals?
sure.
Did
100%.
someone like teach you about that, or you just knew it was a thing?
I saw other people doing it and I just figured like why can't I?
Okay.
So flash forward to today, I am working with like brands that I wrote down on my dream list. Like
Wait,
what?
what happened to your business? Managing
Oh,
social media and graphic design.
it just didn't make sense anymore. It just kind of like dissolved. And I just realized that I could make more doing it for myself. And I feel like doing it for other people was always a crutch. Kind of like what you were saying earlier, like ministry was like almost like a crutch. It was like the easier route. So doing it for other people, I'm like, oh yeah, I can definitely do this behind the camera because people need that. And I didn't, I think I doubted myself that I could really make a substantial amount being in front. I'm like, can I really do it? But I did. And so now I'm like working with some of our last brands. Like we worked with Huggies this month, Kleenex, Go Squeeze. These are brands that are on my dream list.
Yeah.
It's really, really incredible. Melissa and Doug, we love Melissa and Doug toys. It's been amazing. And I'm so grateful. In addition to landing brand deals, there was a moment where I realized that I was getting so many questions like, oh, how are you landing this deal? How are you doing this? How did you grow your following? And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a masterclass. And I did like $100 a person. And I'm like, what if I do something like longer term and higher ticket? And so I started raising the price. And yeah, I sold like 200 enrollments at like anywhere between $997 and $1,500. And then I bumped the price up to $3,500 last year for my program. And yeah, some of my girls are like still with me. They've grown and
What program?
So it's shut up.
I love that I'm acting like I have
know.
no idea.
I know. So the program is called Brand Deal CEO. I've seen so many amazing things happen as a coach. And so I have that course. And then I have content creation. So I'm working with brands. And then I have another course called Course Creator CEO, where I teach women how to do what I do. You know, if they want to build a signature course, I teach them like from ground zero, start to finish. And it's really for people that are more seasoned who already have success in their business. So I have like hairstylists, people that own salon suites. I've got a girl who works for Teen Vogue. She's teaching like career, like how to get into the editorial fashion career. So yeah, it's really, I love it. And Will hasn't had to work in 2 years.
Yeah.
So that's been like incredible. But I feel like just online, the internet has just made ways for us to just thrive in so many ways.
I think one of your gifts, God-given gifts, is that you're an activator. And like I've seen that a lot in the past couple weeks with just this project. You know, you make things happen, like, and you help women make things happen, and that not everyone could do that. And so I think that like you coaching, like I think that's very fitting to your gifting.
Thank you for saying I'm an activator. I'm like, what?
You are. You're like, you're an activator. You help make things happen. You encourage. You're very encouraging. You're really good at drawing out the gifts in other people as well. And yeah, I think you're great at what you do.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You're great at what you do too. You are. I was thinking about how you were saying in the beginning of this episode that like you didn't have anybody to tell you or like to coach you through like what your giftings were or like what direction you should go in. And I just thought that was so interesting because like your mom is a photographer, she owns a sushi spot, your family's very entrepreneurial, like very, and I'm like, girl, what? Like you have, and also like your mom used you as a model. So it's so interesting that you didn't look at some of those things and like it didn't click. it wasn't clocking to you that you
It
were
was
so
it
gifted and so
wasn't
talented
clocking,
in so
yeah.
many ways. And you were like, even in high school, like you were an it girl. You knew what to wear. Yeah. Like
Okay.
you knew what to wear. I was always looking to you like what to wear. Like you did, you knew what was cute, what was trendy. So it's just so interesting to me that you did. And I was we had this conversation earlier. Like I was telling you, me and Will were like driving back from the Biltmore this morning. It's crazy, like
Yeah.
almost 24 hours ago. But we were driving back and we were just reading about Paul, and Paul was talking about the thorn in his flesh and how the Bible literally says that the enemy like sent a messenger to harass Paul to keep him from being conceited. And so I kind of feel like I'm like, I wonder if sometimes our insecurity is, yes, there's like
Wow,
some
you
that's
preaching.
unhealthy.
Okay,
There's
pastor. Okay, pastor.
there's shut up. There's a little bit of like unhealthiness about it if you don't know your identity in Christ, right? But then there's another part of it that's like, no, that's the thorn in your flesh to keep you humble and not fake humble. So you saying like, I didn't think I was good at anything. It's like, no. That's the thorn in your flesh, like to keep you. That's the messenger from the enemy that God is like, I'm not going to remove this because it is in your weakness that I'm strong. It's, you know what I mean? That's when the power of God can rest on you when you feel like you're not enough, when you feel like you're not good enough. That is the only way, you know? And to know that, right? To boast in that all the more, you know? But I think that we too also have to know that God, if that is true, then we are enough. We are enough because God's power is perfected in our weakness.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's good.
So that's something to think about today. What is the thorn in your flesh? It's hard to believe that the Bible says that God might not remove that thing that we keep begging God to remove, but it is for our good. So we will be strong in our weakness through his perfect power resting on us. When I was reading reading about Paul this morning, I'm like, oh man, we be complaining about everything, and this man literally had it bad. Can you guys imagine being shipwrecked 3 times? Can you imagine being beaten and flogged and hit with rods and persecuted? And like he'd had it so bad, and we were just like, I don't think we can start the pod. I don't think I can start the t-shirt business. I don't think I can open up the coffee shop. Girl, yes you can. Yes, you can.
See, this is what I'm saying. Like,
Yes,
this is
you
what I'm
can.
saying. Like, you're good at what you do because you do this. You do this.
Because I'm
Amazing.
delusional. I am
I
delusional.
know. I feel like all day I'm like, be delusional, be delusional, be delusional.
Yes.
But it's like, in other words, we're saying like, have faith.
Right. Be delusional,
Yeah.
have faith, because faith, we don't see it. And my thought is like, it's going to work out. Like, you were like, I don't know if we're going to have time. And I'm like, it's going to work out. This is going to work. It is going to work. I don't know how, but it is going to work. And there's no doubt in my mind.
Girl, I don't know how you work, but I don't know how you live your life that way. But yes, it worked out. Everything worked. Yeah.
I told you.
We just had a long day, guys. It's actually
Is it 1 a.m.?
1:33 a.m. as we record this.
Okay, show them your socks.
Here are
We
socks.
have matching heart socks for the lover girls in us and in you. If you would like some heart socks,
Go get some from Urban Outfitters.
no, they're from Aritzia.
Oh, are they?
It was a pack of 3 for like
the
25.
same from Urban.
Yes, and they were more expensive. It was like 1 for $12. So
Oh, Aritzia?
yeah. So
Okay.
Aritzia, but actually, maybe we should just do a collab with them and say lover girls on this.
Yeah.
Saying earlier about like if you don't know how to get experience in whatever the thing is, or you don't even know what you're good at, serve. And they like, I feel like people have always said that, like people in the church have always said, if you don't know, just serve. And I think that like looking at my husband and how far he's come and grown, and even like his own skills and giftings, I'm seeing them like flourish. Like he works
through serving.
Yeah. Like he works he's on the production team. He runs the camera. So you get on the YouTube for my church, like that is his work. That is his offering. And you know, I used to serve on social media at my old church, and I learned so much from getting it wrong. Like honestly, like I got it wrong. I did not have the heart of a servant, and I learned, but my new church, they get the best of me, the best yet.
Yeah.
And now I'm able to serve on the prayer team, so I'm like constantly in prayer, which is growing me. Feels like serving is really for us. It's not like, even though we're serving other people, it's really for you.
Yeah.
Like the church God doesn't need you to carry out what he has, but you need him. You need the church more than the church needs you.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what I've learned.
Yeah. My thing is, like, when I first became a believer, I was actually at Elevation Church.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of people have interesting things to say about Elevation Church, but for me, I had a really great experience.
Yeah, I've heard great things.
And for me, I grew so much. But I feel like I grew so much because my first week there, my first Sunday there, I was just so hungry for God. I was like, what do I do? Okay, I'm going to sign up to serve.
Yeah.
And because I served, I met my Bible study leader who discipled me, grew so much from that. I got close with leadership, went to trainings, leadership trainings, and I grew so much. And so, like, I feel like, yeah, the best way to grow, even in your faith, if you guys are interested in that, get involved. At my new church, it's interesting because if you want to volunteer, you have to go through like this like growth track. Do you guys have that at your church?
Yeah,
it's like it's kind of like
we have a membership,
like a
membership class. Yeah,
yeah. It's interesting because Devon did it because we were brand new to the church, and they made him take like a spiritual gifts test.
Oh wow!
To see like what his gifts are, and then try and do like a little consultation with him.
Like what kind of gifts? Like the gift of
hospitality, prayer. Like I think there was like different ones. Okay. And so and then they, based off of your results, they did a consultation with you and said like, okay, cool. Like based off of your test and based off of your interests, where would you like to serve? Well, we think you maybe do well here. Would you be interested in doing this? And so I don't know if your guys' church do that, but if you're interested,
I don't think they do that. But we do have like a membership process. But I like that.
Yeah. And I think that's a great start for someone too who like doesn't know.
Yeah, like they have no idea
what they should do, where they should serve, what they're good at. So
yeah, for sure.
And I'm also like, for me, I had to be squeaky. I had to be a squeaky wheel. I had to be an initiator, a go-getter to like create the opportunities for myself.
Yeah.
And like you can't just wait for something to be handed to you. You kind of have to make that first move. And so
I always say, like, can God order your steps if you're not taking them? Like, step and he'll order that step. As you're stepping, he's gonna order it, you know?
Yeah, he orders it. Yep, it has to be delivered.
You gotta move. You gotta move. And there's a time to reap, time to sow, the time for everything. The time to sit and wait. But I think that it's important, if you're in that season of like, what do I do next? Take a step and God will order the rest.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you for listening to another episode of Love to the Girls. You know, it's always love.
Always love to the girls, from the girls. Follow us on the socials at Love to the Girls Pod on Instagram,
TikTok.